All right, this one's always fun. I'm happy to welcome into the Media Center our 2019 KPMG Women's PGA Championship winner, Hannah Green. I know it's only an hour old, but what's it like to hear that, your name preceded by major championship winner?
I mean, it's awesome, but you are right. It is new to me, but it has a nice ring to it.
What was the feeling as you were standing over that putt on 18?
That was the most nervous I was all day, that and the second shot into the hole. I just really didn't want to miss the putt. I mean, when do you ever want to miss a putt? But yeah, that was really nice for it to go in, and yeah, for it to see it actually go in the middle of the hole and at good pace. I was just really happy about that because I felt like I was stroking it well all day and just maybe didn't make as many putts as I would have liked.
How aware were you throughout the round of the fluctuation behind you and the fact that what was a three-stroke lead had gone down to one?
Yeah. I was watching the leaderboard, and then on 18 I heard the cheer for SH, so I knew the situation. I knew I needed a par 18, but I think the birdie putt on 16 was huge, just to give me that gap coming down 18. And yeah, I mean, I knew 18 was a tough pin position, but I know the girls hit it a lot longer than me and they have a shorter club in, so they could actually go for it. I had to just try and play it up the green on the right. So yeah, I just can't believe that I'm here right now.
And to have done it with Kari and with Jared and with Grace and Becky in the crowd, that had to be an amazing feeling.
Yeah, just watching the video of them coming and pouring beer all over me, just really makes me tear up and makes me so happy to, I guess, have them here this week. I think they really made a big difference to me winning, and yeah, they just kept me really cool out there. So can you come every week?
We'll open it up for questions. Please raise your hand. We'll start with Steve.
I've got a couple. What was the club on 18, and was it the right club in hindsight?
It was a 4-iron. I think it was the right club. I mean, I pulled it and drew it into the wind. So I guess maybe if it hit the green, it could have rolled towards the back. So that's all I was really playing for. I wasn't at all trying to go for the pin. I just didn't hit it well, I guess.
And during the middle of the round, when you kind of got in that zone where things were going a little sideways, what was the self-talk at that point, and how did you pull yourself out of that?
Well, I knew I was hitting the ball well. I just needed to keep the ball in play and make sure that I wasn't short-siding myself. Or I feel like when I did miss the shots in the middle of the round, I was giving myself better opportunities to make par. I just didn't capitalize on them. So I was happy that at least my miss hits were in positions that I was playing for. And I knew I just needed to make a couple pars, get the momentum back to then try and have a go for some birdies.
Jerry, then Karen.
114th in the world, missed the cut last week. How do you explain this week?
I have no idea. It really, I can't believe I'm in this position right now. I mean, I've always wanted to win an event, and to win a major championship as my first event is crazy. I wasn't really feeling as confident at the start of the week with my swing, especially with the result last week. But I guess things turned around and I had things go my way, so that always helps for sure.
Karen, and then over here.
When you look back on it, what was more important to your development as a golfer? The money that the Kari Webb Scholarship gave you to do the travel, or just getting to develop a relationship with the woman who is the best golfer your country has produced?
Without a doubt, just getting to know Kari. I mean, yes, the money is a great bonus, but being able to stay in a house with her, literally, I guess, breathing on her, watching everything that she does at a tournament and a major, the practice rounds, and then obviously watching outside the ropes, it definitely gave me a big insight to what tour life was like. And I know a US Open is a huge event to watch, but it definitely gave me an insight to what just the LPGA is like. So I'm very grateful to her, and I know everyone that has had her scholarship is very grateful too.
Right. Go ahead, Karen.
Quick second question. In between your practicing last week, did you at all tune into the men's U.S. Open? Because it unfolded in similar fashion where a man looking for his first major held off the defending champion who also shot a 68.
I actually didn't even think of that till now. I mean, I did watch the US Open as I had time on my hands on the weekend, and just for, I guess, Gary Woodland to win and close like that with the putt on the last, it was definitely very inspiring and very emotional. So I guess watching the TV and watching the golf was really good for me. And then I felt kind of like Justin Rose on the first day, holing, barely hitting any greens and holing a lot of putts. But yeah, I didn't even think of that with the situation with SH. But yeah, it's really cool, I guess.
Right here, and then we'll just work down the road, Doug.
Parring that that difficult first hole from the fairway bunker. Do you remember what your distance was, what you hit, and where did that rank as far as the shots you were able to make today?
So I think I had 140 something meters, and that's usually a 6 or 7 iron depending on the conditions. And I've had a lot of fairway bunker shots with a variety of different clubs, and I actually got a really good lie, so I was pretty confident that I could advance it onto the green. It was a bit further left than I intended, but it's just trickled over the back of the green, so it was fine. But I think it definitely helped me to make a par on the first hole, just to make sure that I wasn't getting too nervous, and continue the positive momentum for the rest of the round.
Doug, and then right next to
Hannah,
you.
when you walked off the 8th green with, I think, a 4-shot lead, did that give you a reason to start thinking about outcome? Did that lead to some of the nerves? And then how do you recover from a stretch of 3 bogeys and 4 holes?
Yeah, I really wanted to hold that putt in 8 just to give me a big buffer. So at that point, I was thinking about the outcome come 18. I was really... The putt on 9, my first putt, was a complete misread. I thought it would break a lot more, and I definitely didn't think it was as slow as it was. And then the putt that I hit next, I was actually really happy with. So I hit a lot of good putts out there. So it was hard for them to see them not go in. So that's why I knew I just had to stay patient. I knew I was holing a lot of putts, and I knew I was most of the time I was reading the putts really well, and I felt like my speed was usually pretty good, and there was a lot of chances for me to hole putts, so I knew I just needed to stay patient because my ball striking was also, when I had shorter irons in, I knew I could attack pins, and I knew coming down the stretch that I would have shorter clubs besides the last hole. So yeah, I was a little frustrated with the bogeys, 3 and 4 holes. Because it was very soft bogeys. They definitely could have easily been pars. But I'm just really happy with definitely making the par on 13, having a tap in there. That definitely settled me to then come, back towards the water and play 14, 15. Knew there were birdie opportunities there. So, yeah, just happy that I finished on a positive note.
Gentleman in the blue, and then the front to Lisa.
Hannah, it's so difficult to lead wire to wire in a major championship. Do you get confidence from each round that you're in the lead, or do you find yourself compartmentalizing each day and just trying to take each one as it comes?
Yeah, definitely. I knew, it's my first time in this position, and I don't know how successful people are with leading every day. So I just wanted to make sure that I didn't get too ahead of myself, even out on the golf course, let alone off the golf course. I think it's hard when you have the lead overnight because there's so many thoughts about, what can happen. And that was my first time doing it, so I really didn't want to talk about it or even think about it. I just wanted to take every shot, every hole, just one step at a time. And I think I did that well, especially the last 5 holes.
Lisa, then Beth Ann.
You had a pretty long wait on the 18th tee with a 1-shot lead.
Yeah.
What did you do to sort of settle yourself or distract yourself as you waited?
My caddy and I were just talking, chatting about we were actually talking about the British Open, the venues that we'll have in future years. So we were talking about golf, but not the current situation. I just wanted to talk about anything besides what was really happening at the moment. And I think that's what we did really well in this situation, is just switching on and switching off at the right times.
Beth Ann.
Just wondering if in the last few years, as you've been learning from Kari, if it's ever crossed your mind that, gee, I'd like to do something like this someday for younger generations, and you're now a role model.
Yeah, I know. Like thinking, yeah, I mean, if Kari ever does give up the scholarship, I would love to pick it up and continue to do something like she's doing. Girls golf in Australia isn't as big as it is here, but I think we are now starting to get everything in order for it to become better. So if I can help in any way possible, I would love to.
The gentleman in the back row, and then up to Keely.
Entering into this week, Hannah, was winning or even contending really at the forefront of your mind?
Not really, to be honest. It sounds really bad, but I mean, every week that you come into, you want to win, but I didn't feel like I had my best game to do that. Especially, I mean, yes, after the first round, I was like, okay, you know, I'm leading. There's a possibility that things could happen, but I just didn't want to get too ahead of myself. Just wanted to, you know, keep it as mellow and as normal as I possibly could.
Keely, then Jerry.
You said that yesterday you only really got nervous when you had to wait. Was that happening again today? Because obviously you had to wait a lot again.
Yeah. Some weights I was nervous. Some was actually probably better for me to actually just be able to breathe, I guess. The one on 18, I think probably wasn't bad at all for me. I hit a good drive. I hadn't really hit that fairway that many times. And it was a different wind direction to what we've been playing all week. So I think it actually really helped me because the putt on 17, even though it was a tap-in, I was still really nervous. So just to be able to have the long walk to the tee and then just wait and chat, I think that really helped me.
And follow up, where's your confidence this week coming from? You just seem so comfortable in a position where people would probably expect you to not be very comfortable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm really not sure. Obviously, this media stuff is very new to me, but thanks. But yeah, I'm comfortable with it. I think I'm lucky that I am that way. But yeah, being out on the golf course, that was definitely different. I've obviously never had that type of pressure. So I'm just really happy. I think I've got a good team around me, and obviously having the supporters and the fans out there, that really helped too.
Jerry.
You got the big trophy, big checks coming. You also got a handwritten poem handed to you after 7?
I did, yes. So Lily, I gave her a golf ball at A&A, a signed golf ball, and her father was there and told me that and reminded me, and I was like, oh, wow. So I got a cute little poem saying that I had given her a ball, and it also said, you can win this. And so a couple of times I had it in the back of my yardage book because I wasn't sure if it was going to rain and I didn't want it to get wet and ruined. So I kept it in my yardage book, and a couple of times on the back nine when I was feeling nervous and had some time, I actually read it to myself. So I have to thank Lily for writing that because I think it really helped me.
Right next to you, Jerry.
Sorry? It's in my bag, yeah.
Kari mentioned the barbecue that they had. Did staying at the house sort of help you stay grounded, relax a little bit between rounds?
Yeah, it did. I actually, as soon as I left the media center, I went to the store to go buy an umbrella. I didn't buy any rain pants, but as soon as I got home, everyone was there and making the food. So it was really nice to just have all the Australians there, and there really wasn't much golf talk at all. So that was perfect. That's what I wanted. And we didn't stay up that late, but we were having some good chats towards the end of the night. So it was really fun, and I think it was perfect. It was definitely how I would want to spend a Saturday night.
Question back on the camera row.
Hannah, there were a lot of young girls watching throughout the weekend. Mm-hmm. You're a young winner of your first major at 22 years old. How inspirational do you feel like this can be for other girls who are wanting to get into this sport?
Oh, definitely. As soon as I see a young girl out there, if I have the opportunity, I want to, give them a high five or smile or say hello. I never had the opportunity to do that at that age, so if me just giving them a smile can do something and be like, oh, yep, I want to be like her. I'll easily do it. It only takes a second, and it can change someone else's life. I mean, just seeing, how many girls were out there was awesome. I think that was, not that I've had played in front of crowds like that, but that was probably the most most girls I've ever seen watch a golf tournament. So it just shows that how strong it is up here.
Anything further for Hannah? Doug?
I hit 8-iron, yeah.
Anything else? Say again? All right, well, enjoy it. That's all yours.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.